So,
Yeah, that's
so what do you
true.
think of that?
Hey, I have a good side here or there.
You
Anyway,
know,
guys,
you know, you know,
we're
you know,
live
Jeff. One thing that I've always believed in the world of fairness is that you should not be punished in a relationship or at a job or in a club, anything like that, for something that you've done in a previous relationship or a previous time. And I think that what's going on in the world the last week or so is just ridiculous. Not only in the world of pro wrestling, but I mean Aunt Jemima changing their name, Uncle Ben changing their packaging, the Teddy Roosevelt statue being taken down because he's got a black man and an Indian walking alongside his horse. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with this world? And now, two of our favorites, two of the young up and coming stars that we really enjoy in AEW, both Jimmy Havoc and Sammy Guevara, are being punished by AEW for things they did years before they were even signed to AEW.
I didn't think we were starting with this.
I think,
I
well,
really did.
we always start with the bad stuff, with the good stuff, and finish off on a strong
Oh,
note.
and NJPW has been good stuff, by
NJPW,
the way.
Jeff, is
Um,
you know what NJPW has in common with eating a clock.
what?
It's been very time consuming.
I hate you. Anyway, guys, since we haven't done the intros yet, I am Jeff. He is Zanman. This is Kingdom of Honor. We are actually recording a day early, and we're going to upload this a day early, and so on, and thereforth. The reason why is because someone has to have Chinese food tomorrow with his in-laws. It's your
Not
in-laws, right?
no, it's my it's my dad, my mom, my daughter, and my granddaughter, and my niece.
Okay, so he's having Chinese with somebody other than me,
Probably my erstwhile
and that's
brother
a
too.
problem. And I'm going to play Call of Duty because, well, that's what I do when someone abandons me on a Tuesday night when we should be doing shows. But regardless,
Well,
Shane,
I'll probably end up playing The Last of Us Part Two tonight after we get off the air. So
dude, that's a great game. I just finished it.
you did not finish the second one of them.
Yeah, I did.
It just
It's on
came out on Friday. How'd you finish it already?
it. No, okay. So I played the first one.
Okay, it's like what the
Whatever,
fuck?
whichever one is on PS now, that's the one I played.
Okay, yeah, it's a great game,
I
and the
thought it
second one
was
came out on Friday. So
okay. So I'm not going to play that for a while,
okay.
but the first one was amazing. Anyway,
I actually think there's a way that we can share each other's PlayStation accounts somehow.
can't.
Let's figure that out
I
because
tried.
then I can play
I
your games,
tried
you can
with
play my
somebody
games.
else.
So
I tried with somebody else. We can do like I can log on to his PS Plus.
hmm
He can log on to mine. We've got them shared because whenever we play Call of Duty, we're logged on to the
wait,
same.
you're cheating on me?
No,
Who gave you your PS4?
people.
People named.
Do you know how many hours I've logged on this PS4 when you said it was almost dead, by the way? Call of Duty alone, I've logged 1,000 hours at least.
Well, no, it was the HDMI port was going wonky on me, and I just didn't know how long that was going to last. But the system itself, I didn't think it had. I thought it had plenty of years left in it.
Well, the
But
HDMI port still.
I didn't want to spend the time or do it myself to replace the HDMI port. So
Oh, and by the way, you and your wife, I still love you both for giving that to me as a birthday gift. Greatest gift I've ever had.
ah,
Plain and simple. I've gotten more enjoyment out of that than I have ever out of any gift I've ever gotten. Anyway,
that is very good. That is a very nice thing to hear, Jeff. I'm really glad of that.
oh, it's true. I mean, between DVD watching, because I don't have DVDs, I do everything streaming digital, uh, which is why I do. What are you listening to?
Me?
Yes.
Not listening to anything.
Why are we? What? There was like classical music playing in my ear. What the hell is happening? All right, guys, this is going to be a fucked up show. We can tell.
I think maybe Kilgrave got into your head for a second.
Guys, this is going to be a fucked up show. We could tell already. But anyway, Shannon touched on something, and I was worried about talking about it because I have I don't want to get to a point where I'm defending or villainizing or any of that stuff. I would love to be able to take everything that is going on in the world at a I don't know how to say it. I would love to just be partial and report the news. What Culture Today did a great job of that. They reported the news. Um, other websites I've seen, they reported what is out there. To be honest, I'm always a person that will try to see the best in everything, even though I'm a negative prick. I know I get it. I don't understand it either. But um,
A negative
when I
prick, does that mean it goes backwards into you?
sometimes,
Okay.
sometimes wraps around. We're
Okay.
not talking about that right now. We're talking about anyway. Um, what's going on right now to me is more of a reaction than reality. And what I mean by that is we've gotten to a point in this world, and a lot of it is because of the fact that with coronavirus and quarantine and so on and so on, we're fucking bored. And let's be honest, we are just bored. So a lot of things that are happening in this current environment, and please stop me if I'm getting on the line, just shut me up. But a lot of things
Yeah,
that are,
that's easy.
no, I'll stop. I
Okay.
promise.
Okay.
A lot because I'm really actually worried about, crossing the line. So anything that, I just feel like things that are going on right now are more of a reaction than reality because we're responding to current environment and people's not perception, but people's just understanding. People are bored. They're looking for things to complain about. They're looking for things to spark interest. And I seriously feel after reading all the allegations, and believe me, sexual assault, rape, whatever you want to complain about, feel free, do it. I applaud you for reaching out when you're scared and when things haven't gone your way and you're upset, you're messed up, whatever. Reach out, tell people, tell your story, be brave, and do it. I will 100% applaud that. The one thing I won't applaud is people taking advantage of a situation. There are some serious accusations right now that are going out there. There are some that are true. There are some that are, I get it. I'm sorry. I really, really, really feel bad for you. But at the same time, and I'm not saying this to be a dick, at the same time, we need to let the legal system take over. If you have a story, you tell it. You tell it. Get out there, get on your horse, tell that story. If
Yes,
someone
yes,
hurt
yes,
you,
yes,
if someone,
but tell it to the legal authorities. Don't shoot it out on Twitter with no proof. Don't do it years after the fact. Because now people are being tried in the court of public opinion with when we have no idea what actually happened, who the people are that are saying it. Um, and there's no way, I'm not going to come out and say, oh, David Starr didn't do this, or Jordan Devlin didn't do that, or
because we don't know them.
we don't, because we
Plain and
don't know
simple.
them, but we also don't know their accusers. And like Jeff pointed out to me, I had even seen on Twitter last night, before this, the stuff going on with Matt Riddle's accuser. Yes, he was having an affair with her that appears to have lasted about 4 years that his wife knew about. But if you look at the things that she's posting, a lot of it looks like it's been chopped together. Um, and and it's just pretty coincidental that that she comes out and talks about this the day he's debuting on SmackDown. So
And I'm not saying, I don't know Matt Riddle. I don't know her. Whether it happened or didn't, that's fine. I get it. whether it was consensual or not my place to say. I like Matt Riddle, and people who listen to us have grown, have known that Shane and I both hated him and when he first developed, but have grown to love his in ring work ability.
I still can't stand
And
his character
to
though.
be no, his character sucks. I'm there with you too, but ultimately, Matt Riddle is a character I don't like, but a talent I do. And no matter what accusation, no matter what anything goes through, I will always respect the work and the art that that man does. To be honest, I'm the same way about Michael Jackson. I'm the same way about Bill Cosby. These are people who were, and to be honest, O.J. Simpson. I will watch Buffalo Bill games from the 70s and cherish that guy's work. He might have been a piece of shit off the field. He might have been, whatever he was obviously convicted. Things went that way. But here's the thing, and the same thing with Cosby. They were convicted. There was legal things brought up. They were tried. There was a jury. They were convicted. Stop, wrestling world, people, everyone, stop vilifying people unless they are convicted. There is no reason why Joey Ryan should have been fired. There is no reason why Sammy Guevara should have been suspended. There is no reason why Matt Riddle should be having to answer these things. There is no reason why Travis Banks should be going through what he's gone until it has been brought to a court with evidence that shows he's wrong. Plain and simple. This country and everyone involved in it, not just this country, this planet, every country, every county, every person on this planet is so quick to judge people. We are so quick to jump on that guy's wrong because that person said so. And ultimately, we have judges and juries and lawyers, and there's a reason they're there. And once we start getting to a point where we ignore all that and just say, that guy sucks because someone else told me so, that's when we falter as a society. Sorry. I really didn't want to do that tonight.
No, I didn't know that Joey Ryan was one of them. I had his name had not come up in the stuff I looked at, but now I'm looking at it right now.
To be honest, Joey Ryan is out of all of the accusations that came out, Joey Ryan is the one that I'm the least happy about because he has multiple accusations. The rest of them, it's like one or two people, and those could be. And when you read some of the information about him, especially Travis Banks and Matt Riddle, it's a one-off. Didn't happen before. There was never an accusation before, but Joey Ryan's got multiple. So he's one of those guys where I'm a little bit more concerned about, but I can also see how all it happened with his character.
Yeah, I can too, and and that's the thing is like I read these accusations, and now you mentioned Joey Ryan. I mean, it, not that I ever thought this of the guy, but David Starr kind of now that I think he kind of looks like a date rapist. It doesn't mean
Yep.
that he
Oh, he
is.
does,
It doesn't mean that
especially
he
when he
is.
had that mustache.
Exactly.
You know, it, my only thing is when you look at David Starr, he's had one accusation. It was damning, yes. It was horrible, yes.
Yeah, he had one
But
accusation, but then the person that accused him also said that other women have had the same type of relationship with him, and he's come out and said, yeah, I'm not a saint, I'm bad at I can be emotionally abusive or whatever he said,
well,
but I'm not but I'm not a predator, you know.
he said when he was younger, he could be emotionally abusive. And I'm not trying to defend David Starr by all means, and please don't take it that way. Um, I'm just going off the facts I have presented to me at this time and what I have read and what I've seen is with David Starr, with Travis Banks, with all these other people. I don't see that manipulation that people are claiming. Like when I read the Travis Banks account and everything that was going on there, what I saw was a guy who was maybe drinking, maybe not, who knows. But when you read his text to whoever and I apologize for not knowing her name. But when you read the text, a lot of it sounded to me more like a guy who realized he'd screwed up, who realized that he was in a relationship with somebody that he really cared for, really liked, and ultimately it didn't work out.
Hmm.
I've been in those relationships. I've been that guy. I have been on the other end. There's times I'm doing that same thing to women, going, Why? Why don't you want to be with me? I hate you for what you did to me, blah, blah, blah. It happens. A lot of it is because, as much as we're in this situation and in this life and in whatever we are in, where people are so sensitive and protecting everybody's rights, we are also in this environment where it's really, really mandated on people and really pumped up that you fight for what you believe in. So a guy who loses a woman or a woman who loses a man, it goes both ways because believe me, I've been on both sides. Um, you fight to get that relationship back when you feel it's right. Even though that other person doesn't, you do. And that's just human nature. That's just the way that we've been ingrained in this society to fight for what you believe in. And when I read the Travis Banks stuff, that's what I felt. I didn't feel like he was manipulative. I didn't feel like he was trying to um, coerce this girl. I felt like this was a guy who lost someone that he truly cared about, and he was just trying to get her back.
Right.
And maybe I didn't see all of it. I'm going to throw that out there. I maybe didn't see all of it. I maybe didn't see, there might have been some other messages that I didn't get. I'm saying what I saw. And what I saw was a guy who was trying to get a girl back that dumped him or they broke up and he regretted it, whatever it was. I saw a guy trying to get that girl back.
Right. And I didn't see those particular ones, but I mean from what you said, I agree with you. I mean that's the thing is like there's so many of these things that could have a separate connotation, especially when you're getting it in text form. I mean, how many times have you and I had a conversation in text, or you and you and one of your respective Kellys, or me and my wife, and
We're not talking about Kelly's ever.
and we get text back and says, what the hell, you're being bitchy, or something like that, when it's like, no, I was being honest. It's hard to tell in a text what somebody means.
It is. And, hopefully everyone listening has been in that situation. And I really do. I take that back. I hope you're not. I hope you're all happy and love and everything's great because ultimately I want everyone to be. But I know from my own personal experiences, and like I said, it's not just been me. There's been girls that have broken up with me that I've maybe gone out on a limb on and made some messages that could have been like David Starr, or Travis Banks, or any of these other guys. At the same time, there's been women I've broken up with that have done the same thing to me. 4, 5, 6, 3 months later, messaging me, talking about how I gave them everything, or they gave me everything, and they loved me more than anything, and all they want is me to get back with them, and all this stuff. And I just think that before we start firing people, before we start suspending people, before we start doing this and that, we need to let it go through the legal system and the courts.
Yeah,
Bill Cos
And that's what bugs me so much about this kind of stuff is, and I told you that earlier, Jeff, is you know and therefore you could be slandering somebody.
And I'm going to jump on you there. And I hate to do it, but the reality is it doesn't matter how long it is.
No, it does
Sometimes
because there's no physical evidence left now.
there's no
That's why it
physical
matters.
there's no physical evidence, but hear me out here. One, it helps you as the victim. Two, Bill Cosby proved that wrong. How many people came out about Bill Cosby from the 80s, 70s that were admissible? If there is proof, there is proof. And a good attorney, a good detective, a good PI, private investigator, will find it. I just think what I'm upset about is people like David Starr, who has been blackballed. And David Starr, I mean, anyone who listens to this program knows how much I like David Starr as a performer. And I want to look at David Starr as that performer. What he does in his personal life, not my problem. What he does in his personal life, if it's bad, he should be convicted. He should be tried. He should be thrown in jail if it gets to that point. But ultimately, what David Starr does as a performer, I enjoy. And I want to see David Starr perform. Same thing with Travis Banks. Same thing with Matt Riddle. Same thing with Joey Ryan. Same thing with Sammy Guevara. And there's so many other names that have come out, and I applaud Drew Galloway. Great, I'm happy for you. I love the fact that people are getting behind this speaking out campaign, but at the same time I want people to be intelligent about it. I want people to view it the way that it should be and not accuse someone just because a scorned soul said they were bad. Do you know how many scorned souls have said I'm bad? Do you know how many other people have said I'm great? It's the same concept. And I just wish people would view it like that.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to say about that is, and I'm kind of echoing what you said there, Jeff, is that I really hope that this isn't true, but if it is, it doesn't change my opinion of them as a performer.
No.
Just like and I know other people don't feel this way, but just like Chris Benoit, the situation didn't change my feeling of him as a performer. You can still love the art, without loving the artist.
Well, and it just doesn't go that just to Chris Benoit. I mean, Hulk Hogan was what, 4 years ago? Vilified for something he said 10 years prior.
Hmm.
When I watch Hulk Hogan, especially his AWA days, and we're going back to the 70s and early 80s for that, but when I watch Hulk Hogan's art, I don't watch it any differently because the dude may be a POS from behind the scenes, but when I'm watching him on screen, that doesn't take away from what I am watching, the performance I'm seeing, the greatness I'm seeing. And I just feel like it shouldn't be that way for anybody. And I'm not trying to divide lines. I'm just saying how I feel. If you personally cannot look at Benoit or David Starr or Matt Riddle the same ever again, I get it. I truly do. And I
Filibuster for a
applaud you.
second.
Go
Well, you
for it.
already are, but
Oh,
keep going.
okay. Um, I get it, and I'm more than happy with your decision. And we've always on this show, especially, have said wrestling is objective. Part of being objective is your view, the way you feel, the way you approach everything. When we watch a match, when we watch wrestling, I've had shows where they've been the greatest ever seen. Plain and simple. Shane hates them because Shane's feelings on the subjects, the storylines, whatever they are, is different than mine. And that's one of those things that I just feel like everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I appreciate everyone's own opinion. I hope that everyone can form their own opinion. In this instance, I'm just saying relax just a little bit because There are so many lives that are being ruined at this because of hearsay. And that's plain and simple what it is hearsay. Somebody gets on social media, they start making accusations, true or not my place to decide. But they are making accusations, and because of those accusations, people are losing their jobs. People are being suspended. People, we was Sammy Guevara. Are you in your back now, Shane? Right?
I'm back.
Okay. Sammy Guevara today got suspended indefinitely, undergoing what was it? He's undergoing sensitivity training because of a comment he made on a podcast when he was 20 years old. 4 years ago, he made a comment on a podcast, and he is not only being vilified, but suspended without pay. He is one of the best up and coming wrestlers in our era right now. We've got guys that are great. We've got Okada, we've got Naito, we've got Osprey, but Sammy is one of those up and coming. A lot of people haven't heard of, but he is going to be amazing someday and probably be the face of this industry. And he is being judged and vilified for a random off the cuff interview that he did on a podcast from 4 years ago when he was a 20-year-old kid. That's the kind of world we're living in. That's the kind of world I think needs to wake up and realize we are not horrible people.
Well, and the thing is that you and I have said something very similar on this show at least a couple of times before.
Multiple times.
And so I mean,
Not famous though, so
we're
it
not
doesn't
famous, we're
matter.
not famous, but I'm just saying, I mean, it's it's something you should not joke around about, obviously, but at the same time, people also need to have a sense of humor sometimes.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, Sammy, I get it. I get why people are upset. He used a word that maybe shouldn't have been used. And I understand that. I truly do. And I truly feel sad. But ultimately, did Sasha Banks come out and complain about it? Or did some guy find it when he was listening to a podcast from 4 years ago and go, hey, I heard him say this, and now AEW is suspending him?
And regardless of that, you you should not be fired or suspended or anything like that for something you did when you were not the employee of a company.
Not the employee of a company, or when the person that was accused or brought up in the conversation didn't even complain.
Well, that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is, I mean, yeah, I mean, if she complains, that's one thing, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. You should not be you should not be held accountable by your employer for something you did when you were not employed by that company. Is my entire point. Full stop.
Fair enough. And you're right there too. You're right there too. It's like AEW at this point should not have cracked down on Sammy because of something that happened 4 years ago. Joey Ryan, same thing. Should not have been cracked down on Impact and told and fired basically because of something that happened years before he was involved in Impact.
Right.
I will give credit right now to WWE because they are handling the Matt Riddle situation like professionals. Matt Riddle had a situation that happened in 2018. They knew about it in 2018. They hired Matt Riddle and they're standing behind him now. Right now, they are investigating. They're letting him continue as a SmackDown performer. Everything is fine because they are standing behind their talent. And I haven't given WWE credit in a long, long time. But right now I'm giving them credit for doing that because nobody else is doing that.
No, they're really not. Um,
We're a half hour into this, by
we
the
are.
way. And we weren't going to talk about it at all.
Well, I didn't want to, and you said we should, so we are. So. Don't blame me
Fair enough.
for it.
I blame I blame the cat for it.
Yeah, just like you always blaming a pussy, Jeff.
Fair enough.
What a
Fair
great way
enough.
to wrap up that discussion.
Right. I was just thinking that. It's like, oh, you could have chose a different word.
I could have, but it wouldn't have been as funny.
That's a
Um,
good point. Anyway,
so, so,
on
so,
to
so,
real wrestling and positivity because there is so much of it right now. NJPW is back, baby.
I got to tell you, Jeff. As much as we've been enjoying the wrestling that's been going on, and we've talked about how great other stuff we've watched is in AEW and Ring of Honor. I got to tell you that two of my favorite matches from this entire year happened during the New Japan Cup. So
I
far,
got
the first
three.
round, I've got Ishii versus Desperado, and I've got
Yep.
as maybe my favorite match of the year, full stop, Yuji Nagata's incredible upset of Minoru Suzuki.
You can't sleep on Takashi versus Homa either.
Yeah, I can because I don't like Honma.
It was a great match.
It was. I mean, it was a great match. It was something that made me look at that and go, "Wow!" So I can see
When,
what people like in Honma, but I mean, Takahashi carried him to a fantastic match.
oh,
I
he
just,
did.
I,
And when,
but
when he,
I just, I loved so much Suzuki versus um, Nagata. You know,
that was
I actually
amazing.
jumped off of my chair when Nagata pinned Suzuki.
I did too. And I hate to say it because I haven't thought much about Nagata for about 5 years. But watching him pin Suzuki was one of those moments where I was like, "Holy shit! What did I just see?"
Hmm.
You don't
Exactly.
get those much in wrestling.
No,
A
and
lot
we
of
no
times,
when we were sat here talking a week ago about how the finals of that bracket might end up being Suzuki versus Okada.
right?
Suzuki's gone in the first round, and there was a couple of chances Okada might have been gone in the first round. So
Yeah, there was, which pissed me off because it was Gato.
yeah, but that was a pretty darn fun match too.
It was, and it was one of those. It was that match we've been looking for over a year because we wanted to see Gato get his comeuppance like a year ago.
Yep.
So the fact that we actually got to see it was really, really fun.
Yeah, and the fact that they found a way to do a callback in a match that really shouldn't have been anything too clever or epic was great. So
True. Very true.
yeah.
Very
Um,
true.
but I one thing I do want to say is there are people that I did not miss there, and I would have said Suzuki was one of them until that fantastic match against Nagata. I didn't miss Honma. I didn't miss Taichi, and I sure as fuck didn't miss Toriano. And as much as the crowd is into him when he's performing, and as much and as ridiculous as we think his act is, his act does not work at all with no crowd out there at all.
No, it doesn't at all. I uh, I was very disappointed in that match, and I told you ahead of time I did not want to talk about it. I wanted to pretend it did not exist, and yet you brought it up. You dick. That was that might be one of my top 3 worst matches of all time. What the fuck did we watch? Seriously.
Battle of Low Blows.
It wasn't even that. Was the first like 4 minutes was just them doing dumb stuff.
What else did you expect from Jado and Yano?
No, I didn't expect anything from them. The fact that we actually had a match with them is what pisses me off.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's ridiculous.
It, like Jado retired what, 4 years, 5 years ago? Like literally retired?
Well, other than he's still been teaming up with Gato.
Right, here and there.
Yeah,
Kind of like managers do sometimes.
yeah.
but he should not be in a ring in a New Japan Cup. Toru Yano
But if he
should
was
not be in the ring.
but if he was going to be, at least it wasn't against a real town. It was against fucking Yano.
Good point. I can't disagree with that. That's a good point. Still, Toru Yano should not be in a New Japan Cup or G1 especially. Um, Neither should Gedo
God
or
damn it,
Jado.
Hagar, get out of there!
You're fighting with the dog. I'm fighting with the cat right now.
I locked the gate, but I didn't realize that the gate was that he was in the kitchen when I locked the gate. So get
She sees flashing light on
get that
my.
chicken bone out of your mouth now. You're gonna kill yourself, dumbass.
Oh, memories of Rhaegar. But anyway, away from the bad to the good. That match sucked. I will never remember it. I hope to God Ryan is still listening. I know he's not been on Twitter for a while and everything, but I hope to God he's listening.
I can't believe you're saying this, Jeff, because I remember specifically when I texted you that they had added English commentary. You said, "Oh, good. I have to go back and watch Yano versus Jado again with English commentary now."
I did not, you lying cocksucker.
That's how I remember it.
You know damn well it was about the Takahashi match.
Speaking of which,
You dick. Anyway, Ryan,
speaking of which, last week you said Takahashi was one of your picks to win the New Japan Cup, and I said they're not going to have a member of Lij win the face off against um, Naito at
Naito,
Dominion,
they talked about it the whole match
and I totally forgot. I totally
that he was
forgot
supposed
that
to,
it was supposed to happen at the anniversary show.
right? And they played that up the entire match. They played that up.
Well, I didn't know that because I only watched that match with Japanese commentary. I didn't see that one with English commentary because I don't go back and rewatch matches most of the time. So, are you there?
I am.
Did I lose you?
I was waiting for you to say more words.
No, that's pretty much all I had to say.
Damn.
Is that I don't like to go back and rewatch matches and that quickly with each other. I know you do quite often, but I got
I
I'm about moving on and moving ahead. So
I enjoyed seeing it with the English commentary. I'm not gonna lie. One of the best parts of watching night one, the Japanese commentary, is first of all, I haven't done it in like 5 years.
right,
To
exactly.
hear the Japanese commentary was kind of a callback to what we did back in 2015 and 14. Um, the other thing that was one of the greatest parts of the whole broadcast, and it sucks because it had nothing to do with wrestling, but there was a commentator there on the right. There was a commentator way over 6 feet away on the left, and in the middle there was a TV screen.
Yes.
The best part of the TV screen was whoever that female commentator was, who, whenever the guy on her right was talking, she was looking at him. Same thing with the left. She looked over.
Hmm.
That had me in tears laughing the whole time it was on screen. That was one of the best things I've ever seen, period. I don't care what the rest of anything happens in New Japan Cup. Funniest thing I've ever seen. Funniest thing I have ever seen. That was amazing.
Um, yeah, and that's it kind of reminds you like you of those what is it, romper room where it had the guy like with his face inside the TV turning back and forth like that. That's kind of reminded me of is either romper room or Mr. King or Captain Kangaroo. I can't remember which one, but I remember that from I'm pretty sure it was on Pee Wee Herman too.
Possibly. Yeah.
That's kind of what it reminded me of too. Um, yeah, it was really good, and it's so great to have New Japan back. And we have and as we talked about last week, like the matches that were taking place tonight and last night, and are side of the bracket, the right side of the bracket is even more is stacked compared to the left side of the bracket. So um, we're looking forward to watching those matches in a few days when Kevin Kelly's on there with his English commentary.
Right. I really enjoyed it, and like I said, the Takahashi match, Takahashi and was it Honma?
Yes.
Oh, I that was the one match out of night one I had to go back and watch an English commentary because I thought that match was amazing in Japanese. But here, Kevin Kelly's just explanation of everything, I felt added to it, and it might be just because I'm a little rusty on my Japanese. You know how that's second, third, fourth, fifth, 300th language for me. Oh, come on. Seriously? You're gonna do me like that? Wow, seriously, silence. Anyway, I loved the
Well, no,
fact that
do you like what?
we got Kevin Kelly's enthusiasm with the Takahashi match, talking about the headbutts and one of the parts of that match that I liked more than anything was how he talked about that, and I can't think of the name. It was a Kakahashi or something like that. Um, he talked about the diving headbutt and how it had like a 400% completion rate,
Right.
and then just see him miss it like 40% of the time. That was just one of those moments I really liked.
I enjoy Kevin Kelly so much. I was so glad to have him back as a commentator. I mean, he's right up there with I've said before on the show that when Ring of Honor announced him as their big special surprise to be their new play-by-play guy, I kind of went wah wah. But after hearing him over the years, he's just so good at what he does, and
Yeah.
he's I know that people are gonna call this blasphemy, but to me, he's better than Jim Ross.
Oh hell yeah.
I mean, I've got him. I mean, probably in my fandom, I've got Vince McMahon, Tony Schiavone, and Kevin Kelly. And those are my three favorite. And Joey Styles has got to be up there too. But
It
um,
depends on the promotion. Like I will always give Vince. Oh, that's hard. Because for me, it's a crossover. Or Gorilla Monsoon for WWE. Tony Schiavone by far WCW. Joey Styles WW or ECW, and Kevin Kelly is my guy regardless Ring of Honor or New Japan.
yep,
My second for New Japan and definitely Lucha is Matt Styles.
striker,
Striker. Someone. Matt someone.
Matt, someone,
I'm kidding. Matt Striker.
Matt, classic.
No. All right, I'll go with Matt Classic.
You're a fan of Colt Cabana's commentary too.
Yes, I am, and I like Ian Riccaboni a lot. I really like Caprice Coleman. Some of the stuff I've heard from him lately. But man, seriously, Matt Striker is amazing.
Yeah, he was really, and Matt Striker has commented for SmackDown, ECW,
ECW, yep.
Impact,
Lucha.
Lucha Underground, and NJBW. So that's quite
Did
a
he
quite a track record.
did he comment for Lucha or for Impact, or was he just a backstage announcer?
Yeah, that's right. He was just a backstage announcer, wasn't he? He probably called a match here and there, but yeah, he was
It
never a
was
regular
embarrassing.
commentator for them.
It was embarrassing that he was a
Yeah,
backstage and Josh
yeah,
Matthews was able to be the king dog.
yeah. Although I really do enjoy the dynamic of Josh Matthews and Madison Rain together on commentary.
That was amazing and one of the best ever.
It's still going on.
No, is it?
Yeah, it is.
I've watched it since the last like duplicate or double show they did.
I know you've not watched it since Unbreakable, but they're still commenting together.
I don't have time, man. I got this wrestling and that wrestling. Oh, how do you find the time? Serious. Oh, that's right. You don't have kids,
No, I don't have kids.
so you win,
I do have dogs though.
and they don't count.
Well, yeah, they're not. They don't have they don't have the intellect to count, but they're they're still close to my heart.
Yeah, they are. Dogs are so great.
Yeah, even the two that are digging a hole in the back of my yard.
Good. You deserve it.
What the hell did I do?
I, I just figured you deserved it for something.
Yeah, I said that about Takahashi before, and then like, and the other thing I got reminded of watching these shows is that probably Dangerous Tekka is going to be taking on Golden Ace for the tag team titles, so that kind of screws up
Wait,
my pick of Zack Saber Jr. in the right side of the bracket. So I have no idea
who
who's going to
is
win this thing. So
who is Dangerous Tech?
Dangerous Tekka,
Who is that?
Zack Saber Jr. and Taichi.
No, I haven't seen the second side of the bracket, so I'm not gonna come right now. After seeing side one, I'm actually going with Takahashi. I felt like he proved himself against a heavyweight. I felt like he stood toe to toe, and I really liked that match. Might not have been my favorite. It was hard because of Ishii's performance and Okada's in his squash match against the Devil Gato. But, oh, and of course, Nagata.
Yep,
But I'm going to have to go with Takahashi as my guy to win that bracket.
I don't blame you, but and that certainly could happen. But I really don't want it to because I really want there to be a junior heavyweight title match at Dominion. You know,
Yeah, against anyone.
yeah, that's what.
Ishimori was amazing in his match. Really underrated, to be honest. I thought his match was great.
Oh yeah, his match with Uemura was really good too. That guy's
Yeah,
that guy's gonna be something special too.
and to be honest, I really, really like Desperado's performance against Ishii.
Yeah, I mean,
Really liked it.
he really had you believing he was going to pull that upset off.
Yep, and he's still a junior too. So, oh, and by the way, what the fuck has Show been eating? How was he has to have gained 20 pounds.
That's why I texted you and I said there's no way that show was still a junior. No way.
My God.
He's almost as big as what the hell's his name? The guy who faced. I can't think of his name.
It was an 8-man tag, so it's hard to say. I
Yeah,
haven't seen
no,
the second round, but
no, the never open weight champion is like
Shingo.
Shingo. Yeah,
But is still considered a junior too.
yeah, but we knew he wasn't the entire time he was a
No.
junior, and
Yeah.
now show is like almost the same size as him.
And he got rid of his golden hair. He got rid of his golden tights. He's now his own man. As much as I hate how great that tag team was, they are not going to be together much longer.
Well, they're going to have to be until they find another junior team. Well, I suppose Despy and Mark take the belts back.
They don't care about the junior heavyweights at this point. They really don't.
No, but
They've
I'm just
proven
trying.
that for the last couple of years.
No, but I'm just trying to think of what other junior heavyweight teams there are, and I guess really the only other one that I can think of at the moment is Desperado and Kanemaru.
Well, and El Phantasmo and Taiji.
El Phantasmo and who? Oh,
Taiji
Ishimori.
Shimura. Yeah.
That's right. Well, yeah,
That was a good
but
match too, by the way.
The British guys aren't able to come into the country right now. It seems like, and I don't know about Robbie Eagles either. So I mean, the birds of prey are probably out of the question right now too.
Well, pretty much Australia has been shut down. Kevin Kelly kind of said that because Gino's not there, Jay White's not there. They even said that that second round was altered by the fact that Jay White couldn't be there. The main
Yeah,
event on night two,
it's just too bad that Bad Luck Fale wasn't around.
yeah, of course. Night two actually was supposed to be the main event, was supposed to be Okada and Jay White.
Hmm.
And they had to scrap it for Okada and Gato because of Jay White's travel restrictions. But
I'm
ultimately,
actually surprised that God is over there right now.
are they
I think weren't they on that return to
not one
return to
or two?
I thought they were on that Come Together show. Or did you not watch that show?
I haven't watched that. No,
Oh, okay.
but to be honest, the Okada versus Gato match was what I expected.
Oh, you know what? I think I'm
Just
wrong. I think I saw them. No, I watched the tag team title match. That's how I saw them. They weren't on the Come Together show. Okay,
okay.
sorry. Go ahead.
Thank God. All right. Gato versus Okada. It was a match. I didn't think Gato was gonna pull off what he did, but ultimately it was the comeuppance match for Okada. So we can finally put to bed that storyline 2 years later.
All right. So, Jeff, this has never happened on our show in the history of our show before, but
What, you can disagree with me, or
we have somebody commenting on the live chat
what?
and
We have a live chat. What's that?
on our YouTube channel. Yeah, and
What, ours or Kingdom of Honor?
I can on the Lords of Pain YouTube channel.
All right, fair enough.
And
Thanks.
it's from James Harden saying Triple H always gets whatever he wants. So I'm not sure what that's in reference to, and that has nothing to do with our show. But do you have any comments on that?
Um, Tell him to go to Kingdom of Honor, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell.
You just did. You just did tell him.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know if that's something to do with Matt Riddle or what. Because we really have not talked anything about WWE tonight other than Matt Riddle.
Matt Riddle.
So
Um, Honestly, on Triple H, and I'm going to be honest, it's one of those things I've been asked a few times, and I've never really commented because we're not a big WWE show. But Triple H has been one of those guys who I think is an incredible performer. I think from the time I started watching him in early 94 has grown immensely. Do I think he's a politic guy? Of course. His best friend was Shawn Michaels. It was all about politics. But that's not my place to comprehend. My place is to watch the art. And from the art, I cannot think of anybody over the last, well, in the 90s, other than maybe Steve Austin, who was better than Triple H.
Triple H is one of the greatest performers of all time, no question.
Oh, absolutely, especially after 2001. McMahon Helmsley era is one of my favorites. The stuff he did with Legacy is amazing. I
Well,
know people,
in 2000, his year of 2000 is one of the greatest professional wrestling years anybody has ever had.
I can't disagree with that. I really can't. It was amazing.
No, I mean it's up there with Kenny Omega in 2018. It's up there with AJ Styles in 2005 and 2016. Um, Trying to think who else had those just phenomenal lights out years. Okada in 2014, 2015. Just but yeah, I mean that was his, he that was the year of Triple H, and Jeff's going to take this as blasphemy, and probably a lot of other people are too. But I mean, if
Of
you ask
course I will,
but if you
because
ask me
you're an
Triple H,
asshole.
if you ask me Triple H or Ric Flair, I'll take Triple H 10 times out of 10. So
I think it's going to depend on what kind of fan you were and where you were at your fandom. But that's a hard argument to make because as great as Flair was at his peak, Triple H at his peak, and I'm going to say Triple H's peak was from 98 when he first ascended with the corporation until about 2010. No, not that far. 2007. Uh, when Legacy kind of finally made their exit, You compare that to any 7, 8 years of Flair's career, and you have to go Triple H.
I'm
You
gonna
have
say
to.
Triple H went through 2009 actually.
You think so?
I do. I would say 97 2009. So I would say he had a 12-year run on as
I
a champion.
can't. I can't go that far. It's
No,
got
no,
to
no,
be
no,
the
no,
end of
nine, no, nine,
Legacy.
no. I would say 98. So I would say starting at WrestleMania 14 to WrestleMania 25, and maybe even a little past WrestleMania 25. So like maybe into the summer of 2009. So I'm gonna say about 11 years for Triple H.
And see, the problem with Ric Flair is you can't go back that far. Ric Flair is really from 83 to about maybe 92 when he went back to WCW.
Yeah,
Um,
I've always said on this show, and when you and I talked about it in real life, you know, Ric Flair had three great years:
oh, yeah.
83, 89,
Yep.
and 92.
See, and for me being an original Ric Flair fan, because that was my bread and butter, 70s, I was AWA, NWA. The reason I stopped liking AWA and Hogan and Vince or Vern Gagne and the Midnight Rockers was because of the Horsemen. So we're talking about 81, 82. Um, for me, Flair was at his peak from about 81 to about 84. And I don't know that anybody else captivated an audience like Flair did from that
The
time.
Horsemen were not around in 81, 82.
They were
Flair was still a babyface when he won the title from Harley Race at
You're
SummerSlam
right. You're
'83.
right. You're right. You're right. You're right. So I give up. Just, whatever the Horsemen were, there was about a 4 year stretch where I didn't give a shit about anything else but the Horsemen.
You're probably talking about 83 to 87 then.
83 to, yeah. And then Savage in 88 captivated me and I was done.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, that's where I'm at with Triple H. So anyway, as far as always getting whatever he wants, I mean that I have no idea if that's true or not. But
Who
um,
cares? That is what it is. None of it matters to us.
oh, the other big story in wrestling this week, Jeff, is that the Undertaker announced his tentative retirement, and
Again,
to which I say, who cares? He should have retired in after WrestleMania 28. So,
to what I say is again.
well, he's never actually made an official announcement about it before,
Yeah.
but I still say it's 8 years too late.
I think when he lost to Rain or when he lost to Lesnar,
Nope,
that
nope,
probably
nope. He shouldn't have lost to Lesnar. He should have lost before that. So it's not when he lost to Lesnar because that didn't happen. If Jado versus Yano didn't happen, then Lesnar beating Undertaker didn't happen.
no. Jado versus Yano happened. Doesn't matter that I think it's Crazy Steve versus Vampiro. It still happened, and it sucked. It was horrible, horrible, terrible, bad.
Terrible, terrible. I'll tell you, terrible.
Oh my god, it was awful. Please watch it because we love New Japan and we want to see their ratings go up so we can get more. But it was terrible.
Oh, we're gonna get New Japan more. We're gonna get more New Japan no matter what. So that's
All
just the way
right,
it is.
fair
That's
enough.
just the way it is.
Fine then. Fuck you. Don't watch. It was bad.
All right. So tell everybody where they can listen to us at, Jeff.
Wait, what?
Tell everybody where they can listen to us at.
I don't
Plug the
want to.
shit.
I really don't want to.
All right. That's all we got. We'll try to do better
Can't
next
we
time.
talk more? Let's talk more.
No, let's not.
All right, fine. Guys, Patreon.
You're
Um,
drunk enough as it is.
no, I'm not. I got a good hour left in me. Anyway, guys, Patreon. Patreon/Kingdom of Honor. Please go there. Please like it. Please subscribe. That helps us bring you wrestling content throughout the year because you can donate to us and we turn that into more wrestling content. We give you exclusive stuff, we give you YouTube videos, we give you um, Patreon exclusive stuff. And right now, we're talking about Macho Man. Are we doing that Monday or Tuesday?
Maybe.
I hate you.
We'll
So
see.
we're gonna do that.
I'll try to watch in this week. I can't guarantee it.
Well, I hope you do because we're not doing YouTube exclusive, so we're gonna do Macho Man, a Desert Island
Macho,
series.
macho man. I want to be a macho man.
I hate you. Um, so that'll be next week. We're gonna do exclusive for Kingdom of Honor slash page or patreon.com/ Kingdom of Honor. Also, if you're listening on YouTube, we appreciate it. Give us a like, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. There's two of us. We are on Kingdom of Honor, youtube.com/ Kingdom of Honor, and also on youtube.com/ LOP Radio. Hit either of the like buttons, subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell. Great for us.
Ding dong.
And also our Twitters. I am at RegiCoop. He is at Zanman LOP. Use the hashtag DAD and the hashtag KOH. You'll be able to find us faster, and I use those hashtags every chance I get, and so does Shane. So, yeah, there's that.
Programming notice we did the show tonight, so we will not be back with you tomorrow night, but we will be here on
No,
Wednesday for Dynamite After Dark, which will be a twofer for us since we missed Dynamite last week.
because of NJPW, by the way.
That's right, because NJPW is fucking back, baby. Um, is LOP Radio Adventure. Actually, I think he's doing something different this week. I think he's actually going to be covering each WWE show as it kind of happens, except for SmackDown. So Raw, NXT, you'll be able to see reviews here on LOP Radio. Um, and then this weekend will be WWF Legacy Series continuing 2000. I'm sorry, 1988. And then we'll be back with you next Tuesday where you can hear us discuss such scintillating matches as in the second round or the first round of the right side of the bracket of the New Japan Cup as Hiroshi Tenzan takes on Yoshihashi.
Oh
That's
my god, yes. Yoshihashi. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
but seriously,
Can I
guys,
watch it now? Can I watch it? I want to watch it now.
it's not till tonight, so
No, I
probably
don't
not.
care. I
Okay,
don't care. I'm watching it now.
that's all we've got. We'll try to do better next time. This is Shane saying long days, pleasant nights, and Jeff saying, "Oh hail the Tokyo Pimp!"
I kind of am. I want to be. Anyway, guys, goodbye.